Hood Rising, Kings and Queens, Trap Witch here in Atlanta, Georgia, coming to bring you a new moon in a Pisces reading for March 6th, 2019. For those of you who know me, I am the Trap Witch. For those of you who don't know me, I am the Trap Witch. You can follow me on Instagram if you aren't already, TheTrapWitch. I am an intuitive and intercessory healer. I am someone who deals with a lot of blockages. I like to consider myself more of a shadow worker, more of a middle ground worker, helping people dig deep to help them find the power and to culminate the tools within themselves to overcome blockages. Because if we don't overcome blockages, we don't get to our blessings in life. If we don't learn how to turn misfortune upside down, we are going to be stuck in between a rock and a hard place. So I like to consider myself a bridge. I like to consider myself someone who helps people build bridges. Um, with that being said, for those of you who have been along with me for a very long time, you know we keep up with the full moon and the new moon reading. So I'm very excited to see what this moon reading has to say for us. The past couple of months has been a lot of sitting down, being patient, sitting down, clearing out, sitting down, holding up, because guess what? The hold up is a blessing in disguise. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. What do we have to say about Pisces? I am someone with Venus in Pisces as well as my North Node in Pisces. With Venus in Pisces, I am a dreamer. I can be caught with my head up in the clouds, but I do feel that my Mars in Sagittarius brings me back down to ground and says, you know what, how are we going to go about this plan of attack? Anyway, Pisces, right? Pisces, sensitivity. I don't know about any of you, but I have been feeling uber sensitive. I think I've been crying at least twice a day. Not boohoo ugly cry, but just crying of self reflection, self realization. Can't believe that we've come this far. Can't believe we've come over these things that we are clearing out. A lot of us have been clearing out a lot of toxicity over the past, I want to say, 6 to 8 months, since those eclipses last year, as we're upgrading from 3D to 5D. And as spring is upon us, I do feel, although in many places are getting hit with some final snowstorms, beyond all the ice, beyond all the snow, beyond all what might seem like darkness, there is sunshine coming. When the ground thaws out, there are going to be things that you planted from last year, maybe planted in seasons before, that are going to come back and they are going to flourish. If you've been putting in the work, if you've been doing all the self-care that you need, no need to worry. I know that great things are right around the corner. With that being said, for those of you who like to work with me one-on-one, you can book a session with me, www.thetrapwitch.com. I will be taking a break at the end of April. Briefly, I want to say, if you want to get with me now sooner than later. I still have some space available. I'm just taking up till I'm at capacity. If you are really serious about starting to tackle and plant some seeds for this year, and you know it's never too late to start, go ahead, book you a session. I would love to help you with that. And if you have any inquiries, just feel free to shoot me an email, thetrapwitch@gmail.com. So with that being said, let's just go ahead and let us get into this reading. I'm not going to talk so much. The sage is out of control right now. Sorry, y'all. The sage is out of control. With that being said, we'll go ahead and get started. Let's try and put this out a little bit before I just smoke my whole house down. That would not be good, would it? No, it wouldn't be good at all. Okay, so I'm going to be losing the Law of Attraction Tarot. I've been using this deck a lot. I really like that it helps you really paint a story, connect a story. And I'll be complementing with some Goddess Oracle deck cards and some Angel cards. And we're just going to see what this moon has to say about this energy coming up and things that we're dealing with and things we're moving through and how we could best, maximize and capitalize upon this energy. So get you a notebook. I know a lot of people benefit when they take notes. I might drop some gems here or there. I'm known to do that. And if you feel compelled to tell me what you've, gained from it, feel free. Tag me on it on Instagram, and let's just do the work together. Keep each other accountable, and just go on this journey together on this thing we call life. Shall we? Spirit, I call you in on behalf of the collective, and I ask for the highest good of all those involved with harm to none. I ask for clarity. I ask for clear perception. I ask Alegua to open the roads to precise messages. At this time, what is a subconsciously below the surface, beyond the veil, that can facilitate in the collective's highest good? Allow them to overcome barriers and obstacles and give them insight on where they are currently at on their journey, allowing them to transcend any spiritual, emotional, mental, or physical blockages that might be hindering their alignment, and allowing them to realign with all the good things in life that are due to them. Love, happiness, peace of mind, good health, prosperity, wealth, abundance of all sorts, peace, internal clarity, discernment, intuition. We ask that we call in my spirit guides, my Egun, my ancestors, ascended masters, archangels of benevolence, any other benevolent presence that only wishes to assist in positivity and good. Please step forward and allow me to be a conduit to be able to facilitate the message clearly. What is it that the collective needs to know at this time for full moon in Pisces, March 6, 2019, that can help them be of servitude firstly to themselves and then also secondly to others, using their energy to the utmost of its potential. Okay. Shay, let's stop right there. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Let us pull some clarity. All right, y'all. Let us look at this first card. It is a young man. You know, he's not wearing the most, I'd say he's not wearing the most glamorous of outfits. His hair is a little overgrown. He's barefooted. And it seems like he's walking across a tightrope, right? Or walking a fine line of some sort. Often when people are in these types of situations, unless they are in the circus, it's not very common to see someone walking from building to building from the windowsill across a very fine line, right? So we're talking about taking caution, the fine lines that we have to walk, taking our time to stay balanced. And it's funny because he seems like he's in a very high place trying to get from one thing to the other. Many of us are getting to a place where we are getting ascended. We are ascending, but still there are fine lines that we have to learn to walk. And I think sometimes we feel underprepared, because I say feeling underprepared because I'm looking at his appearance and he looks like someone, like I said, he looks a little unkept to me. He looks like he's not prepared. And I feel like a lot of us feel like there are really fine lines that we are walking right now where we feel underprepared. But this is the thing, right? With trust, with balance, with agility, and great skill, he can make it across. Because this is the thing, a lot of times when we are ascending to higher places in life, we're going to walk fine lines where we take really big risks. We must take really calculated steps. We must learn to trust our ability to be agile, right? What does the word agile mean? Agile meaning able to move quickly and easily. Okay? Relating to or denoting a method of project management, used especially for software development, right? That is characterized by the division of tasks into short phases of work and frequent reassessment and adaptation of plans. Look at how, in this situation, one wrong step and he has got to recalculate his balance. He's got to recalculate his, what is the word? He's got to recalculate a lot of things in a short period of time. I think a lot of you right now are coming to a point in your ascension where you're walking a fine line. Things can easily go wrong. Things can easily go south. Things can easily go left, right, wherever have you. But you have to trust that although at times you feel maybe underprepared, you trust that you are able to move quickly and that you are able to move easily. That only comes with time, trust, discernment, and being patient with self. Think about this dude. Being caught out there in the middle, sometimes being caught in the middle of a decision doesn't feel like a good place. But what I will tell you is, with the Clarity card, Rhiannon Sorceress, Rhiannon Sorceress, you are a magical person who can manifest your clear intentions into reality. It doesn't matter if you feel like you are caught in indecision. It doesn't matter that if you feel like you are underprepared. It doesn't matter if you feel like you have to use this to calculate in a short phase of time what it is that you need to do, that you can't trust yourself. This is something that so many of us, right, as we grow into higher places of power, we're put into more high-risk situations. And we have to understand, with more power comes more responsibility. This man is walking across this fine line, and there's a lot of responsibility on his hands, taking his own life into his hands, because nothing makes you care about your life more than being put in a situation where there's lots of risk, right? You have the ability, though, to turn that situation into something that you are able to adapt through just because of frequent reassessment of what it is that you need to get to the other side. Okay? A lot of you have a lot of pleasure and light and things to look forward to on the other side of these decisions, on the other side of making these choices to be able to manifest situations that are in your favor. Sometimes the biggest thing in between you and reaching the other side, you reaching where you want to be, reaching the pleasure you desire, reaching the sunshine and the light and all of the things of prosperity and abundance that you desire, the biggest thing standing between you and that is indecision and lack of trust in self. A lot is waiting for you. Look at this woman, right? She's sitting out in a field. She's sitting in this dress with this hat on, and she's just looking very free. She's chewing on a piece of grass. What I get is this feminine energy and feeling free. Because look at coming from here to there. Doing what you must in masculine energy to get to a place of freedom in the feminine of what you've created. You've created a place of freedom where you're just like at ease. In order to get to what you've created, to get to the other side, to get to relaxation, right? Because that man in that situation, he is not relaxed. High pressure, high risk. Sometimes we have to honor that we are prepared to deal with high pressure, high risk situations and get to the other side to a place of luxury and peace and freedom and beautiful situations that we have created by simply trusting that we have whatever it is. Coventina, purification. It is time for a cleansing, detoxification of your body and mind. Trusting that we have whatever it is to detox the situation. Okay? The only thing, right, besides some maybe physical factors of that man getting to the other side is purifying within his mind and in his body that he can overcome. A lot of us do not trust ourselves to purify situations, right? The quote's coming to my head, but what if I fall? What if you fly? There is every chance that that man can fall. And everything up until this point in his life is just... A lot of us are coming to this moon feeling like, I feel like, defeated almost. We're stuck in a really hard place in some situations. We are almost to the other side. I really feel like this moon is a new beginning as we're coming into spring. You are almost to the other side. Will you give in to defeat? As I drop the cards, you know it's not a reading with me until I drop some cards on the ground. You guys know that, right? Oh, Jesus God. Okay. Defeat. That's a Ten of Swords, so a lot of anxiety, right, surrounding defeat. Are you going to defeat yourself before you even get to the other side? Because it literally might be 2, 3 more little steps that you got to take to get to that other side. Skilled sailor. If you've ever heard the quote, smooth waters never made a skilled sailor. To me, this moon is bringing up a lot to do with your own skill. It's not that you are underprepared. You feel like you lack some of the skill to get to the other side, to the place of freedom that you desire. Whether it be freedom in business, whether it be freedom in a friendship, whether it be freedom in a relationship, anything that you are desiring freedom to get to the other side of right now. A lot of that is coming from your own inner wisdom. Athena, inner wisdom. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Some of y'all have all the wisdom that it takes to get to the other side of the situation right now. You know what to do. Trust your inner wisdom and take appropriate action without delay. Without delay. Hesitation, indecision. Hesitation and indecision can ruin you. And often in life, if we don't learn to make our own choices, our choices will be made for us. And so right now, you have the ability to trust your wisdom, to trust that you can manifest a positive situation getting on the other side of things, and that you are able to take the appropriate actions, to be agile enough, to be skillful enough to get to the other side. Okay? Sometimes people say, how do I trust myself? I'm so afraid. And I will tell you, sometimes you're going to just have to do it afraid. Do you think that man's not afraid as he's up there probably towering over stories and stories? He doesn't look confident. He looks a little unsure, but just because you are afraid does not mean that you still can't do it. Trusting your intuition is not always knowing all the facts. Let's rewind. Trusting your intuition is not always knowing all the facts. It's trusting that you have enough faith to get to the other side of whatever it is, even though you can't always see everything. That man's putting one foot in front of the other. He doesn't know sometimes what's going to happen until he puts his foot down and he sees. Some of you are getting yourselves defeated before you even put your foot down and see what it is that's going to happen next. Sometimes you can't see what's going to happen next unless you make a decision. Right? It seems like, too, look at the last card here. It's a handshake, but it comes up reverse. I feel like some of y'all haven't made the decision. You haven't made the agreement. You haven't made the agreement with yourself yet about what it is you want to do. And sometimes that's going to take a little meditation, right? Siege, quiet time. Take some quiet time alone to rest, meditate, and contemplate. It is okay to take your time. It's okay to take a moment to meditate. But you also know when you need to know when to rest and not when to quit. You need to know when to take a moment to meditate and when the fuck to move. There's a lot of knowing how to walk the line here. Okay, cues Johnny Cash, I walk the line. I almost feel like there's something. Give me a second, y'all. Walk the line, verb. To maintain an intermediate position between contrasting choices, opinions, etc. To behave in an authorized or socially accepted manner, especially as prescribed by law or morality. To exercise self-control. To mark or secure a boundary by walking along it. In this case, right, some of you guys don't trust yourselves. Some of you don't trust yourselves to exercise self-control where it needs to be. You don't trust yourself to make the right choices. You don't trust yourself in opinions. You don't trust yourself to create manifestations and freedom beyond those choices. What if I make the wrong choice? What if I make a mistake? What if I... You're not going to know. You're not going to know unless you exercise that, right? Securing a boundary by walking along it. You don't know how far you can get until you're trying to walk along it. But if you're not trying, if you're not attempting, if you're not doing what you can to walk across those lines, you're never going to get to the other side. Where do I want to pull clarity from? Let's pull some doubles this time. Hello from heaven. You are safe. Creative writing. Clairvoyance. So, hello from heaven. We're pulling that here. Hello from heaven to me means you have divine assistance that can help you. So many of us underestimate divine assistance. Divine assistance, right? Higher self, a higher power, our guides. I can't tell you how many times I sit down with my cards on big decisions. Big decisions I'm afraid to make. Yet I pull a card and somehow it gives me clarity on what I should do, right? And sometimes we're like, okay, you know what? Maybe that's what I should do. And you might be afraid, but you're going to have to do it anyway. You have to be trusted that you're guided in the right direction. Your loved ones in heaven are doing fine. Let go of worries and feel their loving blessings. To be in tune with your magic, to be in tune with your power, to be in tune, right, with the fact that you are somebody who can be a result of manifestation, that's something powerful. Think about this too, right? So many of us have ideas. So many of us have things, right, that are just up here. We're talking Pisces season, right? Like I said, Pisces the dreamer, Pisces the idealist, Pisces that are just like, that's how I am in what I want to create. I'm just like, oh, I just see it. But you have to pull it from here and bring it down. And you have to trust that you can manifest things from the spiritual into the physical. But sometimes things aren't going to manifest in the physical world until you are willing within your spirit to be so unshakable that you are not going to give up and continue to trust in faith until you get to the other side and you see the physicality and the tangibility of your manifestations. Some of you are so scared. And that's why you have to purify out those thoughts that you can't get to this place of what you've created. You've got to purify out those negative thoughts. Why? Because you are safe. Archangel Michael, I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and your home. Some of you are so scared, so insecure, so unsure of self. Trust me, I have been there, and at times I still am there. Sometimes we feel like we are unworthy too. We're so insecure that we feel that we are unworthy to get to the other side. Sometimes it feels like we've been fighting for so long that we can't just trust that we can just get to that point where we're just like, man, I made it over here. Imagine that man walking this fine line for so long, feeling like he's had to tiptoe, he's had to take caution. Imagine when you get to the other side of your manifestation and you feel like you're in the safe zone and you're like, wow, I might have encountered a lot of danger, a feeling of insecurity, feeling of all of these things, but guess what? Damn, I'm in the safe zone. So many of y'all are fearing that you're not going to make it to home base, that you're not going to make it all the way around, and that you're going to get cleared safe. But guess what? Even when a player, softball, baseball, whatever the fuck have you, sometimes they have to be willing to take that risk, to take that final run across the line of the diamonds to get to home base. And the umpire, right? The umpire and the pitcher's there. And guess what? He feels like he's not going to make it. And they almost caught, but guess what? Safe. Trust yourself and your wisdom to get to the other side now and not defeat yourself, that you will be safe and you will get to now where you are creating a place of freedom within self by just making that decision. You can't stay stuck on third base forever, homie. You cannot just stand on third base forever. Are you trying to get that home run? Sometimes you're going to take your time from each base. And sometimes you're going to have to take that risk in them short calculated periods of time, right? Because look at that word agile that we were looking at, right? Division of tasks into short phases of work and frequent reassessment and adaptation of plans. Meaning, if you can assess that you can get around all 3 bases back home, do it. Those lines, walking those lines, running those lines. Sometimes you're going to jog to first base, then second. Sometimes you're going to have to sprint, you're going to have to run. But that is learning to trust yourself and how you come through on your manifestation so that you are safe and you are trusting of yourself to do so. So sometimes too, right before we get defeated, we got to take some time. Creative writing. Archangel Gabriel, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or a pen or an article or a book. If you do not sometimes make a note of things that you're wanting to do, if you don't sit sometimes down and you make note of what it is that you're trying to achieve, then sometimes you can't rely on moving to wisdom. Because a lot of you guys sometimes are not operating out of the wisdom, you're operating out of fear. You haven't actually sat down and calculated what it is that you can do to come to a solution. All the inner wisdom. Some of you are defeated before you define what it is that you can come to an agreement with self, that you can see the situation clearly for what it is, which is why the last clarity card is clairvoyance. Archangel Raziel, I'm helping your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. Clairvoyance, right? If you see the wand in his hand, alignment. All the chakras are in alignment. All the systems are go. It is lining all the way up. Sometimes clairvoyance is being able to see in between the lines of a situation. It's seeing yourself on the other side. It's seeing what's not there yet. You might be stuck on first base, but you already see yourself on home base. Safe. But you have to be able to see situations for what they are. Know that you are secure enough to manage yourself through them. That you have the inner wisdom to do so. That you are spiritually and divinely guided. Ooh, that looks nasty on the bottom. The honey's on the bottom. Sorry, y'all. Let's pull a quote, shall we? Life wisdom quotes from John Maxwell. Insights on leadership. Spirit, what do we need to know in regards to this pull for full moon in Pisces? What is it that they need to know in alignment with this message? The greatest mistake we make is living in constant fear that we will make a mistake. If they did not align and tell you all the way the fuck off with that just now. The greatest mistake we make is living in constant fear that we will make a mistake, a wrong choice. But guess what? If we constantly live in indecision and make no choices, we're not going to be able to take anything that we want for life and bring it to us and take it into our hands. Mistake definition. An action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. Be wrong about. Let me tell you something. A lot of us feel like we've made mistakes in lives. We've made miscalculations. We've taken action. We've made misjudgments. We feel like we were misguided. We felt like we were wrong. Every time that has happened, it has only opened up your discernment. It is only supposed to add to your intuition. You might have been wrong about a relationship before. You've been wrong about partnership before. You've been wrong about everything before. But guess what? Sometimes the more times we get things wrong, the better we get at getting things right. The more times we get things wrong, the better chances we are of getting something right. If you have taken the same test 10 times and gotten the same answer wrong every time, and there were 4 choices, and you chose every one besides the last one the first 10 times, there's a chance that the next time it's got to be that last answer, so maybe you make a different choice. So what are you going to do? Are you going to tap out and not make the decision and pass, or are you going to continue to say, you know what, I'm just not going to make any choices and I'm going to fail? An action or judgment that is misguided or wrong. But sometimes you end up wrong about something, about yourself, about the other things because you take no action. And sometimes what is worse than not taking the risk and making decision is having a, an attitude of non-action. Non-action definition. Lack of action, inaction, or particular activity preceded by non-action and followed by stasis or stability. A lack of action or the failure to act. Sometimes when we fail to act, right, we automatically fail. Sometimes you never see the fruit or anything you want come to fruition or get to freedom. It's just because you simply fail to act. You know, when you think about this, remember when Harriet Tubman freed the slaves, right? She said, I freed 1,000 slaves, or was it 100? I can't remember. She freed a lot of slaves. I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew that they were slaves. Some of them people didn't want to act. Some of them people didn't want to move. Some of them people were afraid. And they had a chance, right? The Underground Railroad, it was a line, right? It was a line between enslavement and freedom. And some people didn't choose to walk that line. They couldn't take that risk. They didn't want to make that decision. So they chose not to act. And failing to act is automatically sometimes failing. Non-action, indecision automatically equals failure. Especially in times when it requires you trusting yourself now to get to the other side. There are times to move and there's times to be still. But if you are too still in the times when you are supposed to move, you will often not see anything manifest. Let's look at the quote next to it. A difficult time can be more readily endured if we retain the conviction that our existence holds a purpose, a cause to pursue, a person to love, and a goal to achieve. A lot of us sometimes too don't feel the need to make these decisions, to take action, because we haven't defined what our existence is about, and it does hold a purpose. There are a lot of things worth pursuing. There's a lot of things worth loving, yourself firstly, and others too. But that has to be a goal and a desire that you wish to achieve. Because guess what? Ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. A lot of people are living in choices, right? A lot of people are living because they didn't make choices. A lot of people are living in situations that are unfavorable to them because they won't make certain choices. They're living in indecision. If you woke up tomorrow and said, I want to be a millionaire, the only thing standing between you and $1 million are the actions that you're willing to take. When you think about $1 million, okay? If you want $1 million, All you have to figure out is how to make $100 10,000 times. That might not that might not seem attainable, but guess what? If you're somebody that has something worth sharing with the world, okay? For example, I have sessions, right, that are $100 each. All I got to do is make 10,000 sales at $100 and I can be a millionaire. So what are you saying is standing between you and walking the line to the other side, to the things that you want, to the sense of freedom? It's making the decision. And as long as you have non-action and making no decisions, the only way that we become unfavorable is because we don't move in our favor. So are you going to move and are you going to manifest? Or are you going to be still to the point where you remain stagnant? And then the only reason why you aren't getting the success of the things that you want is because you fail to feel like you are secure and safe enough to make those decisions to reach the final outcome and not be defeated. We close to the other side now. There's some decisions that are going to come up, I feel like, in the next couple of weeks as I drop the book. There are some decisions that are going to come up. And you have to ask yourself, do I trust myself enough to get through these high-risk situations, possibly to make it to the other side? And the answer is yes. Because if you could see yourself in a position, all you have to do is take your steps to put yourself in that situation and in that position. Clairvoyance is able to see yourself through, even though maybe some facts are missing, whatever, taking a step out on faith. It don't matter if you scared while making the attempt or making the decision or making whatever. Just don't have the fear that you're making a mistake. Be bold about your decision. Put your chest out. Do it with conviction. Do it with confidence. And even if it doesn't work out the way that you feel that it should have, or maybe whatever, at least you tried. What's the quote? Try and fail, but never fail to try. And every try that might seem like a fail is still a learning lesson to getting you to the place of finding out maybe what wasn't necessary and what is. I'm going to leave it there. So, Spirit, today I asked anybody who is watching that now that they move through final decisions and things that they are needing to be decisive about with conviction and confidence, that they remove fear from their decision, that they remove fear from their manifestations, that they realize that the more that they add fear as an ingredient to their process, the more chances there are of them falling apart, falling down, falling as they feel like they're losing their ability to walk the line. There is a fine line that runs across where we are at and where we want to go, but with staying in balance, staying in harmony, staying at peace, trusting our logic, trusting our mind, trusting our balance, we can make it to the other side. We will not be defeated even if we lose a little bit. We won't be defeated even if it feels like at times it's a losing battle. We have enough conviction, we have enough clairvoyance, we have enough sight beyond what our physical eyes can see to see ourselves where we need to be, safe, secure, stable, and on solid ground. Enjoying freedom, enjoying fruition, enjoying all the things that for a long time we've had to fight for. We must wake up every day with the decision that the things that we want are worth fighting for, that every decision is a privilege, every choice is a privilege. And when we have these things, we have the luxury to create the life that we have always desired. Ashe. Okay? Everything you want is obtainable. A lot of choices are about to be made that can put you in a position that you've been wanting for a very long time and manifesting. Will you make that decision to do it even if you are afraid? Fear not that you are making a mistake. Even if you have a little bit of scaredness, hesitation, fear, still do it. Do it afraid. All right, y'all? I've talked enough. For those of you who want to book a session with me, visit my website, www.thetrapwitch.com. Like I said, I'll be taking a short break soon as I go through some major life changes, which is a big ass decision, and I'm scared, but I'm going to do it anyway. You know, who knows what's on the other side? So, with that being said, you are loved, you are appreciated, and know that you are one decision away every day from a better life. But as long as you are not taking action, can't expect those things to come. And with that being said, for those of you who have still been hovering over my button on my website to make that decision, to gather some things deep down buried within inside of you to help you gain the confidence to move forward, to make better decisions, to take authority, Cartman voice, authority over your life, child, why are you procrastinating? You got a short period of time before Mama Trap going to break, so don't be bullshitting, y'all. Anyway, love, light, peace, prosperity, money, manifestation, good shit. Love to you, y'all. Happy new moon. Excuse me, I'm about to say full. I like full moons. Happy new moon in Pisces. And may these last decisions of winter bring you beautiful manifestation in the spring, come summertime, come fall time, where you come into complete harvest. All right, y'all? Take care.